Still trying to figure out getting all this set up properly. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. My name is Harley, or Harleen, whichever you choose to call me. I'm here to bring awareness about how toxicity can totally destroy our lives in ways we never even thought, even if we're not with that narcissistic person anymore or that toxic individual. And sometimes we have those people in our life and we have absolutely no idea that they're currently there because we've blocked it out. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to think how our actions could actually be affecting the other person, and how our daily habits are a replica of who is in our life and why we keep attracting those sorts of people. So if you guys are new here, make sure to tap that screen. Make sure to give yourself the chance and the opportunity to start learning something new about who you are, where you are going in life, because man, this online space can be an absolute animal. And what I have learned more than anything is I want to bring my skill set to the table, because having an online business in any form, whatever the process may be, if you're not believing in yourself, you're not coming from your own authority, your own knowledge, then everything else is not going to line up the way that you're looking for. So today we're really talking about my Wandas out there, and how that person has became toxic into your life. So if you are a Wanda, or you know the Dixie Chicks Goodbye Earl song, and you can relate to that into your own life, and you see that he is a person who's wrapped around himself, someone who is self-absorbed, someone that just thinks of themselves, and you are the batting range, right? That they take that anger and that frustration out on you. That is not what I wanted. Then this live is just for you, my friends, because even now that I'm out, and I have been out for over 19 years from just the marriage, the co-parenting was absolutely insane. It dug me right back to my roots of being married to him, because I still had to co-parent. I still had to show up as this safe parent, quote unquote. And we get lost in that process. We get lost in the aspect that we have to be nice to them just because they're our children's father, but it goes deeper than that, right? For 10 years of co-parenting, I gave them everything and anything that they wanted. I drove forces with giving up my healthy life in order to just be a part of my children's life, right? Because he had done the most unthinkable, all of the things, rude, disrespectful, never home, never around, never wanted anything to do with anything. And in 2023, I started my own business with digital marketing, and I was doing really, really well. And as soon as he saw me succeeding, he didn't want to have to stoop to the same level as me, right? So he started to destroy all the small facets of everything that I had going on that was great, from my marriage to my business, to my friends, to how I believed in myself, my self-confidence, all of those things. And when you are a woman who has been through massive DV, your world starts to shift when positivity comes to you, because they don't want that for you. In my case, I allowed it. I allowed it to take my children. I allowed it to become who I was for so many freaking years. And when I took the stance 2 years ago and said, I'm done. If you don't want to change, if you don't want to do these things, then I'm out. And I gave them 10 years. I warned them every single day. Hey, look, I don't agree with this. Maybe we can work towards this. Hey, look, I'm seeing this in the kids, and this is only over here, da, da, da. They didn't want to listen to any of it, right? So when I went no contact, I really got to work on myself, because their feelings and emotions weren't there. I was able to stop the people pleasing. But what I want to get deeper into with that is no contact isn't something that even has to be a thing. If you can stop people pleasing and you can put yourself above everybody else in your life, then you will start to see the better good of things. Now, going no contact got them to see I wasn't playing around. No contact got them to understand that they were a part of the problem. Now, are they going to fix it? That's not on them. But I can tell you, within 6 months from now, you will be able to see me sitting next to my girls. You will be able to see me reconnecting with my kids. But that's because I now fill up my own cup, right? Every morning, I do my push-ups. I do my morning coffee. I make my bed. I do the dishes first thing before I do anything else, before getting dressed, brushing my teeth, all of those things. I take that time to me, because if I don't, then I can't fill up into my community and come and serve you guys the way I do. I can't show up every day. I wouldn't be 1 diagnosis down. I wouldn't be 90 days no medication. And I wouldn't be tapping into hypnosis and understanding how important the self-care of who you are as an individual is. Now, if you're a mom and you're like, well, I just don't have that time. Okay, so how can we reconstruct your day? How can we reconstruct your day where you are waking up earlier, right? You are taking the time for you before you do anybody else. So if you guys are new here, my name is Harley. I have lived a life of toxic for 34 years. And 18 months ago, might as well be 2 years ago, I took the stance that I wanted to have the best version of myself. So I offer services to you guys like a doc check-in call, which is a spot for you to sit down with me, kind of tell me where you are in life, and we can try to find some new habits that are going to be able to be implemented and help you grow, help you start seeing your actual vision and where you're going in your everyday life, because success doesn't come from instant gratification. Success comes over time of you continuing to do the same good habit no matter how bad it may feel. So I just didn't get no diagnoses and no medication from, just doing it overnight. No, I've had the hard moments. I still have them every day where I have to sit with my feelings and emotions and ask myself, do I really want this? Or do I want to go back to something that's going to give me instant gratification? Because at the end of the day, when I look back at my day and I'm like, wow, you were so aware. Wow, you were able to step back. Wow, you saw things that before you would have gotten mad and angry about. That's where the real work's done. So we have the power page, which is something to start prioritizing you, but it's for the person who's using it to start to implement boundaries with themselves, because that's the one person we don't actually prioritize is us. We don't set boundaries with ourselves, but we expect everybody else. Welcome in, Kendra. Thank you for the heart me. We set boundaries with everybody else except for ourselves. And then we get mad, irritated, and frustrated because people aren't reflecting what we want them to reflect, but we haven't even reflected that with ourselves. So my power page really digs deep into who you want to become, who you are identifying as a person. And this is not work for someone who isn't ready, because some people aren't ready. Some people don't want to see that you could become this entrepreneur. You could become this ultimate mom where you no longer get mad. You no longer get angry. Thank you for all of the shares, Kendra. I appreciate you, love. You could show up as that ultimate mom, but if you're not putting yourself first, then everything else isn't going to go the right way, because in this entrepreneurial life, we have to serve other people, but we have to serve ourselves first. If we're not serving us first, then we're going to come from a place of, well, I wish I had what they had, or, man, it must be nice to make 10K a month, or look at their views, or look at this, but we don't actually dig deeper and go, how in the hell did they get here? What do I need to do in order to become that person? Thank you for the populars. That's where the real hardcore work really truly comes from, is looking at yourself and going, can I teach someone something else? Can I bring value other than just sitting in front of a camera and expecting things to happen? In 2023, I started in digital marketing, and that's when really the toxic in my life tried to destroy all of my entrepreneurship. I've been a teacher by nature, never a qualified teacher like Miss Kendra, but I've been a teacher by nature. I've always wanted to set an example by my choices and my actions and how to do things better and become the best version of yourself. And during that time, I lost it all because I allowed another person to down me and mistreat me and guide me towards the wrong thing. So the services that I offer to you guys, I have paid services and I have free services. I have a free community and I also have a paid community, because not everyone is going to be starting out at the same point. Not everybody is going to want, life is the best teacher. That is correct, Miss Kendra. Not everyone is going to be in the same place. Not everyone is going to want it as much as the other person. And I say that because I wouldn't be med free, I wouldn't be PTSD free, and I wouldn't be narcissist free if I didn't take those steps. I wouldn't even be married right now, let's be completely frank, if I did not take those steps. I had to realize that my ex-toxic life was trying to dwindle into my current life. Thank you for the heart me, you guys are absolutely amazing. Was trying to destroy my healthy life. And I was allowing it because I was abandoning myself. Every day I was going, I don't want to do this because then I'm not going to see my kids. I'm not going to do this because he's not going to approve of it. And so I was in full-blown people pleaser mode, and I had to learn how to not allow that to affect me, because the healthy I had in the marriage that I currently have would have been absolutely fucking destroyed. And I am with an individual that actually is the one that got me into this online space. Digital marketing was only step 2 in my entrepreneurial journey. I started out as a video game streamer. I love playing video games. Those are my absolute favorite. Hello, little Rose. Thank you. Welcome in. I appreciate all the taps and all the gifts and all the heart me's. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. But I started out as a video game streamer, and everybody saw all of my knowledge and saw how I brought things to the table, and they knew that there was more for me. And that's when I ventured off to TikTok. And that's when I started speaking my mind. That's when I found digital marketing. A lot of people think courses are stupid, but let me tell you, this course is what taught me how to do what I do. I'm not selling you a course. I am just saying that I was able to take the knowledge in the course and create it into my passion, which is to help other women get unstuck, help other women prioritize themselves and identify what they're good at instead of what labels fit them for other people to be pleased by. And that's not easy work. That's really hard work. And this is something that I pretty much, even through my digital marketing career, spoke about, because you can have the best product, you can have the best everything, but if you don't believe in you, then you're not going to get anywhere. So if you guys have any questions, you guys need some tips, you need some tricks, whether that is tech help, whether that is asking questions about content, whatever it may be, I am here for you guys to help you start to connect the dots, right? Because I know agencies are really good at the same exact point teaching you and guiding you towards things that are actually not going to help with your algorithm. And I've been in this game so long that I know a lot that a lot of people don't know. If you guys have been watching my content, then you guys know I pretty much make the same content every single day. And there is a reason. Oh, it's the music. There's a reason why I make the same content every day. And it is because I am put in front of new people every single day. Friends and followers are only a push in your live videos, and who is actually paying attention to the friend page, right? The more friends you have that just, skim through it and don't do all of the things, then your video views are actually down and you're less likely to go to the FYP page. So my goal is not to just monetize on TikTok or whatever platform. It is to bring a message as a whole that we can help one another. That's why I have a community. That's why I have my free products, but I also have my advanced products as well that will help you through all of that. All that information is on my face. Go ahead, tap my face, and you can see all the loveliness there. You can email me if you want to collab with me. if you want to do some type of, community thing, or you have some value that I may not have that we can collab together. Normally I have my co-host Kathleen, who is a hypnotherapist, and she's absolutely amazing, but she had a few things to get done today, so she wasn't actually able to show up for this event. But my main big focus is to bring the awareness to when you feel like your partner is wrapped around themselves, that they are selfish, that they are vindictive, that they don't put you into the picture at all. They just blame you for your choices and actions. But then there's the bigger piece to that. How are we, or were we, allowing that to define who we are, and how are we talking to ourselves? Billy Joe, welcome in. Glass Shop, welcome in. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. You guys are amazing. It's getting hot in here. But how did we play a role in that? What did we allow? And it's called Sherlock Holmes syndrome, that a lot of victims go through, where they start to blame themselves for how the narcissist or toxic human was mistreating them. And it's hard to explain unless you've been there and you've done that, and Thank you for the subscription, Kendra. That didn't even come up on my screen. Oh goodness, hold on, let's set this flash goal really quick, because I didn't see that. Okay, there we go. Shit, I lost my train of thought. So the Sherlock Holmes syndrome, right? We don't realize that we're actually tying into that, because we're feeling bad how they're mistreating us, because we don't want to leave, or we don't want to do the other things, the really, really super hard work, because we feel like we're going to just be shoved right back into that little tiny box. But the goal is for us to learn how to deal with them when they're treating us that way. That could be your mom, that could be your dad, your brother, your sister. It could even be your own child. And I say that because my case, right? I lived a life of narcissistic abuse from a young child, SA, all the way until 2 years ago. Where everything that I tried to do that was positive, I'm a manifester, and I would manifest positivity, and negativity would keep coming to me on an every single day basis. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. Thank you for all the populars. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate you. And it turned on to my kids because I allowed their father to mistreat me, even though I wasn't quote unquote with him or dating him, right? I had to share them with him. But the things he did in our relationship really stopped me from being able to be the ultimate parent because of all those things. And so when I went no contact, I did lose time with my children. I've lost 2 years with my children. And that might offset some people, but let me explain. If I was to continue to parent from a mindset of victim mentality, they were going to receive the same thing. And so the only way for the court system and everybody to see the true actions was to walk away. The hardest thing I've ever done as a mom was walk away, deal with my own shit, learn who the hell I really truly was, so that I can get back into their lives. And let's say 6 months ago, not even 6 months ago, the court system brought me back, and they're like, we see everything. The past 18 months, we have been able to see all of the stuff that's going on. La-di-da-di-da. This is what we're needing from you. Can you help with this? Can you do this? How are you doing? Where is your mental health? How is all those things going, right? So they caught me at the end of my EMDR graduation. They caught me at the end of dosing off medication. They've caught me at the end of no PTSD. We're working on no bipolar, right? All because of all the life changes that I chose to do. And I'm not liking this rain music. Sorry, guys. And so taking that time for me and learning who I was and what I wanted to bring to the table, not only did it help my children, even though I wasn't near, because I was changing my energy inside of my body and who I was becoming, even though I wasn't near them, so were they. They were starting to do the hard work. They were starting to see the things that they needed to be able to see. But it also rippled off onto my husband. My husband was able to see who he originally married. He wasn't able to see that reactive woman that was just so worried about abandoning her children, but in reality, she was actually abandoning herself. we have the best relationship in the whole world. We can hold space for one another. We can be able to have those hard conversations when things aren't going right. So this is my passion, this is my joy, and this is the thing that I like to bring to you guys. Thank you guys for all of the gifts and the perfumes. I appreciate you. Is to help somebody else that's going through these things, that wants to see their life in a whole new light, that just doesn't want to be stuck in a box comparing themselves to other people. But here's an even bigger piece. When I stopped wanting malice towards other people, whether they hurt me or not, is when the real hardcore, yeehaw, thank you girlfriend, is when the real work really started to set in. When I stopped blaming everybody that got me to this toxic spot that I had enough, is when the real change started to happen. And I don't mean like massive weight loss or anything like that. I mean when I could sit with me and I could look myself in the mirror and I could be grateful for who I was. Doing my daily journaling. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check it out later on. But in my stories every day, I make my bed. I do push-ups. I drink, my Rise coffee. I don't drink regular coffee. I drink the Rise coffee because I am healing from a life of toxic, but also SA abuse. And so my body, from the inside out, I'm healing it, not just my environment. So a lot of women who have been through DV situations, they go from DV situation to DV situation, and it takes them a long time to actually see that they are continuing to attract the same people and the same person because they haven't healed and done the work. When you are healed, you don't attract the same people. You don't attract someone who's going to hurt you, because as soon as they do, you set your boundary and you become a person that is in their power, and you speak your mind and you don't let those small things happen. Great example. I had every disorder under the rancor when I was married to my children's father 19 years ago. Well, it was more like 10 years ago, but you get my point. The end of the marriage, right? Didn't want to leave the house. I would flip out for no reason. I was home with the kids all the time. We were in survival mode, just preparing for him to come home every day, right? And I instilled that into my kids. But at the same point, I told them that their dad was this amazing, awesome person. But in reality, he had shit to work on. But I hid that from them. They didn't know those things. But my oldest, she knew. She was brought to this world, to be a curse breaker, but I didn't raise her to be a curse breaker the way I should have, because I wasn't taking responsibility for my own childhood that needed to be healed. So if you guys are here and this message sits home with you and you are needing that help and that guidance, make sure to double tap on my face and go check out all the awesomeness. If you're not sure where to start or what to do, there is a chat bot on my website that you can be able to chat and figure out what works best for you. My email is also there and my DMs are open. If someone would like to ask any questions, I am here for you guys. I know that this journey of learning who you are before you start your business is the missing factor that so many of us get confused. Thank you, Kendra. I'm nervous as hell. I have the air conditioner off because if not, y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me, and I'm sweating my bahootie off. I appreciate you. Thank you for the kitty cats. So guys, just remember the most important piece is who do I want to be every single day when I wake up? Who do I want to show up as? Am I going to show up as this person shrunk in a box that only has one or two people that actually believe in me? Or am I gonna wake up going, I'm the bomb diggity shit, I got this no matter what happens every single freaking day? You must wake up knowing that you're worth it. Not because someone gave you a gift, not because someone liked your post, not because this person has seen you on the outside. We want to show up to social media the same way we show up in our real life. My Carly, that's one of my other besties. She's amazing. I have taken a few of her challenges and they have stepped me out of my comfort zone, because guys, when I say a life of toxic, I mean a life of pure fucking toxic. Anytime I brought something great to the table, I was then pushed back. and told, nope, get back in that box, get back in that box. And it takes a lot to be able to sit with yourself and become the best version of you. So my question is, if you guys are in this online space, think of who you want to be in the real world, and then think about who you want to be online. And if those are two separate people, then grab yourself a doc check-in call. Shoot me a DM and we can talk and we can start maneuvering towards that, because that's where a lot of people get this confused in this online space, is you don't want to show up as two separate people. And when promoting products and things like that, like, there's so much into marketing. I could go on for hours. There's so much that goes into marketing and branding and who you are as an individual. No, I do not sell any courses. I do offer tech help, and I do have a community. If you guys want to grow and nourish, I have a paid community and I have a free community. But what I want to say beyond that is I work with people that are ready. I work with people that are willing to take criticism, knowing that it's going to help them grow. If you have a hard time, cut out friends and family that hold you back. A lot easier said than done. And a lot of people stay stuck because they're comfortable or they are financially obligated to people. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but a lot of the time we do not cut people off because in some way, shape, or form, we are financially connected to them. And to get someone to understand how to sit with that feeling of, oh my God, I'm going to unalive, or maybe it's worse than that. Maybe it's that you can't even feel like you can breathe in your own skin if you were to disconnect that person. Sometimes no contact isn't forever. And sometimes no contact doesn't even have to be a thing. I'm so proud of our team. We're showing up, and yes, we have an amazing team that we started to create. I met Kendra a few days ago. Actually, I think it's been closer to a week, and I have been networking this whole week with you guys, and you guys are absolutely inspiring. But I'm also able to kind of see the places and the spots that maybe I can bring some value on this live every day to you guys and start to push you guys in a different way, in a different format, because I see so many people on here more worried about the monetization of the app instead of showing up who they actually are, right? Everything else will fall into place. If you believe in it, it will happen. If you believe that you can do what you say you can do, then that will happen. You will find somebody that will be able to guide you and help you with the small things, like having your store set up, all of those things, all of the small attributes. Those will fall into place over time. But remember, even in the online space, who you hang out with is who you're going to become. If you hang out with confident people that come on here and are inspiring you and helping you and guiding you towards the small assets, then your potential of what you want to do is going to be excellent. But if you hang out with the people that keep you stuck and say that they can't, they won't, they are this disorder, or they identify as this and identify as that and identify as all these things, then that's what's going to come to you. So remember that. Someone who has had bad GI problems, someone who is 2 diagnoses away from no diagnoses at all, if you keep telling yourself that you are something, that's exactly what you're going to become. Surround yourself with lovers, you will be next. I surround yourself with loved ones. Yes, I agree. Sorry, I got confused by what you said there for a second, Carly. Yes. You want to be around people that believe in themselves, that come on here as the best version of them. And the reason that I haven't been consistent with lives is because I have been healing. I have been going no meds. I have been messy. I have been had my days where I've cried on the fucking floor, and I've had to pull out my own power page and my own journal and remind myself, or contact one of my biggest supports that I have here in the online space, which are like 10 of y'all, that I can sit with those feelings and those emotions and cry my eyes out, because it's not easy to not be able to see your kids, or it's not easy to have to tell your spouse, hey, look, I don't feel comfortable talking to you about this, and how to maneuver your insecurities and who you are showing up as a person. Success comes from inside of you. But if you don't believe, then how is anybody else going to believe in you? Like, I have a business coach. I have a group of people that will guide and pivot me on my days that I'm having a bad day. But I have those people that will just validate, and I don't want to be around validators. I don't want to be validated. The only person that should be validating me is myself. Now, if you see I'm doing an amazing job, I have no problem accepting that. Thank you. I appreciate you. But the people that will keep you stuck just because they don't want to offend you, they're not ready for success. And my goal here is to help you guys become the most successful that you absolutely can be, because every single person in here can be successful. It's just how we show up. It's the things that we do every day, like prioritizing yourself. How many people are doing some type of physical movement? How many people journal every day? Those two things will absolutely change your world, because what you write down on that paper is what your subconscious mind is thinking, right? So if you write down, I'm not beautiful, I'm ugly, I'm this horrible individual, then that's what people are going to attract, right? That's the people you're going to get in your life. Those are the people that are going to like your video. Those are the people you're going to see when you go to the store and the doctor's office and all of the things that you can possibly think of, right? Who you become is who you are. Now, this is another part. So going into the generational curse breaking here. Our parents may have not raised us right. Our parents may have guided us towards who we attracted, but it's no longer their job to fix it. It's our job to fix it. It's our job to learn how to be the better person. Our ripple effect will ripple onto them. My mom is the most narcissistic human being that I have ever met in my whole entire life. And I am like one half a string cut of removing her out of my life, because she doesn't get it and she doesn't understand it. But I have compassion for her. Because in 1944, women were not in power. Women weren't allowed to have bank accounts. Women weren't allowed to be who the hell they're supposed to be. They didn't get to have rights. They didn't get to speak their mind. They didn't get any of that. So I have compassion, but sometimes it's messy and it's hard and I bawl my absolute fucking eyes out. Yes, I do. If you are interested, you can shoot me a DM. You can DM me right here where it says services, or it should say service or DM. Shoot me a DM and then I can get a link off to you with the details for that. We have, as we call it, the doc check-in call, which is a discovery call to see if we're able to work together, and then we can go from there. But it's messy when you're dealing with a parent that does not see what you see. So let's go back to childhood. Let's go back to before we were born. 6 months before we were born, our energy and who we were going to become was already created. So if our parents were pregnant with us in a bad environment, with a bad individual, with a bad lover, with all of those things, then what's going to happen? We're going to start our generational curse just like that. I'm taking care of my mom. Hold on, I'm taking care of my mom now. She did her best protecting us kids from my monster dad. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy to have to learn those small things. T-Bone, welcome in. I see you, my friend. Hold on, there's something else I need to do. Where are you, Miss Kendra? There you are. Hold on, guys. Give me one quick second. There we go. All right, Kendra, you have special powers. Okay, so like I was saying, before you're born, your energy is created on who you are going to be based upon the energy your mom has, based upon the energy that you are around when you are in the womb, what your mom eats, what she drinks, what she consumes, all of these things, right? Sometimes we're not meant to be what they are. Sometimes we are born to be those generational curse breakers, so they don't see what we see. Or they're meant to be a curse breaker, but they got stuck in the cycle of whatever society told us to do. That communication isn't necessary. Just go get a job. Just work yourself to death and then wonder why your divorce is failing. Wonder why your kids are growing up the same exact way that you did. Because we didn't take the time to educate ourselves. We educated ourselves with school, And school is supposed to be the only thing to get us through life. Well, how many of us are tired of living that life? How many of us are tired of screaming and yelling at our kids and getting frustrated and not understanding that our children are triggering us because we had something to work on from our own childhood that we never took the time to do? And I know that one might be hard to sit with, but it's 100% true. If your mom ever neglected you, put you in a crib, and didn't show you love as a child, and now your child is throwing a fit and you are reacting the same exact way, that is a wound from your own childhood that needs to be handled and worked on. Thank you for those roses. I appreciate it. And that is one of the hardest things to ever sit with. I was the parent in my co-parenting circle that was always doing that hardcore work. The biggest example that I use with most of my clients in my community is the example of my daughter knocking over the mason jar. And she had an absolute cow. She absolutely lost her tomatoes. She started crying, she started screaming, and I was asking her where it was coming from because we don't deal with things like that in my household, right? And I had to sit her down on the couch. I had to get her to a level of calm. It was upsetting her sister and it was upsetting her stepdad. So what I did was I sent them out of the house. I said, hey guys, go to the store for me. Let me deal with little one and we will get this handled, right? I allowed her to sit with her feelings and emotions and why she was feeling that way. We used touching sensations. We used lavender. We got her calm. Mommy cleaned up the mess. She called her stepdad and she's like, can you pick up another mason jar? I feel like I owe mom a mason jar. And we were able to tag the fact that she was reacting from her own childhood, right? That's the way she was raised at the other household. So co-parenting with someone who's toxic and co-parenting with someone who is healthy, it doesn't mix. And it gets very frustrating as a parent. But remember, you guys, we can only control ourselves and our emotions and how we react to them. We cannot become the opposite person. Whether that is co-parenting, whether that is friends, no matter what that may be, we can only show up as who we are as a person. So no, I'm not a licensed doctor. I am a woman who has had 35 years of nothing but pure freaking experience my whole life. I have witnessed how things can go south within a quick of a second. I understand how we can consciously think, but our body reacts subconsciously because we have not removed the trauma from the body. And that's normally where Miss Kathleen comes into play, and she's able to kind of talk about all of the things, but the things that I do know is, okay, so there's a vagus nerve that goes from the top of our brain all the way to the bottom of our feet, right? And the big one is taking those 7 breaths, being able to walk away even if they're in the middle of a fit, right? Or whoever, walking away and taking those 7 deep breaths and reminding yourself where you are, what you're handling, and what you're going through. When you do that, the anxiety inside of your body settles down because it knows you don't have a right to react the same way. Because that's where reactive abuse comes from. We clear it from here, but we don't clear it from the body. I like the term cursebreaker. You rock, girl. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Because, okay, my mom never handled money well. Here's another part of my story. My mom never handled money well. I was in a car accident when I was little. The gentleman was doing close to 100 miles an hour. And hit my mom's car at the gas tank when I was about 5 months old. And if the cop didn't get me out in time, I would have ended up unalived. You guys wouldn't be talking to me today. And I received a lot of money from that settlement. And that money could have set me free for the rest of my life. But my mom was very selfish, self-centered, self-admiring, and she went and spent all that money, right? So as a child, every time a bill came in, my mom was always flipping out. As a child, my mom lived in a hoarded house, right? So all of these tiny little things that most average people don't see that actually affects our adulthood and who we become as an adult is what I'm here to work with you guys on and try to become the best version of yourself, because I don't flip out when bills come in anymore because I was aware that the lack of money came from my parents. My parents weren't taught how to spend money. They weren't taught how to save money. They didn't learn any of those skills whatsoever. So all of that came onto me, and it came onto me really late in life where I had to learn how to sit with, okay, Do I want to have a better life, or do I want to flip out right now because I don't have the money for this? Or am I going to flip out because my account's negative, or am I going to tell my bank account, thank you, you got me, I made this payment, I don't have to worry about my phone being shut off. Thank you, you're helping me get through this moment because of your late fee. Or when you get a flat tire, right? Maybe there was an accident two miles up the road and someone was unalived, right? So that flat tire, gotta be grateful for those little itsy bitsy tiny things that happen in life, because if we don't, then nothing but hate is gonna come to us. My biggest thing, and even my coaches say, don't speak what you don't want into your life, speak what you do want into your life. And when things get rough, and even my coaches say, don't speak what you don't want into your life, speak what you do want into your life. And when things get rough, look at your circumstances and ask yourself, am I in the right place? And am I handling myself in the right way? And if I'm not, what supports do I have? Who can I reach out to? How can I learn to become my best self before filling into anybody else? And sometimes that's not easy. So I'm going to go back through comments because I have been babbling on for absolute ever. Thank you, T-Bone, for stopping in and all of the love as well. And you are welcome. I love helping. Brenda, welcome in, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen you. Yes, after this, I am planning on doing lives every day, so I'm going to set all that stuff up after this. And remember, like, even this stuff even goes into like addiction, right? And I also, this is a subject a lot of people don't like. I'm not going to use the word too many times because the algorithm isn't going to like me, but we'll call it an ad, right? Ads come in all forms. It can be food, it can be money, it can be hardcore stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single human is addicted to something in this life, and when we learn to control those small things, then all of the abundance of life will come to us in the smallest pieces you can absolutely freaking think of. It's mind-boggling. Is it going to happen right away? No. Nothing in this life happens instantly, including becoming a millionaire. A few of my business partners that are in here will tell you, since 2023, I have been saying that I am a millionaire. Every time that my bank account isn't what I like it, I look at it and say there's $1 million in that account and life is gonna fucking happen. I'm gonna have my beach house. I'm gonna have my amazing ass basement with my amazing ass fucking studio office for my gaming section for me and my husband. All of these things are going to come true because I think of them daily. I implement them. I write them down in my journal. When I'm not feeling good, I do all of the things that I possibly can to bring greatness to me instead of thinking in a negative mindset. Lisa, thank you for the heart me. That is right, girl. We are going to encourage one another and stay on top of this. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, that's really what I'm all about. If you guys are needing help with content, I totally got you. Content is one of my most favoriteest things in the whole world because that's really where it's at, right? For the lives to pop and the things to happen, it's mostly networking. It's how you're connecting with people, but it's also the content you're putting out. It's also how much time are you taking with your content? Do you know the SEO things? Do you know trends? Do you know how to use them? Do you know how long your video should be? Do you know what type of hook that you need? Do you know the value that you're bringing? Are you still in a 9-to-5 mindset? And a lot of people on this app are still in that 9-to-5 mindset. Well, if I put in 5 hours, then I'm gonna get $50 for the day. But when you're in the online space, that's not how it works. It's all about the value that you bring to somebody in order for everything to start implementing the way you want it to. I've spent over 2,000 hours in 3 years in this space. August 17th, I've been doing digital marketing, right? Online business for 3 years. And I've been paid a quarter of what I have for the time that I have put in. So again, it also matters who you're around and how you maneuver in those small facets and how you drive forces together as a person. Your first live is on the 15th at 8 p.m. Please join me if you can. Do you have an event set up? I don't see one in your mini bio. I don't see one in your mini bio. But if you send it in the group chat that Kendra made, then I will do my absolute best to be there. So another thing is the events, like say for Kendra, she goes live every single day, right? So, and she's pretty much on point at the exact same time. Doing a live event is going to help push her live out to new people. She's going to start seeing a different algorithm of people that are going to want to see her help and see her guidance, because she's absolutely amazing. Not only is she a homeschool teacher, is what I would call it, because she homeschools students in her class, but she's very knowledgeable. She's in her authority. She is an amazing, I can't say enough about Kendra. She's amazing. So just remember those little small things, right? Search engine optimization. I know it might be a rabbit hole, but I would definitely recommend you guys to go search what that means. And if you guys want me to do some type of class or something like that, I'm not going to do it on TT, because TT would have an absolute fit and I would be suppressed like no tomorrow. But it's something that we can do in a Zoom where I can teach you guys. I have a few other people that might be able to join to be able to help you and learn those small things, right? Because I'm noticing in your guys' content that some of you are doing what we call faceless content, right? And when you do faceless content, TikTok doesn't know who you are, and faceless content takes 10 times longer to grow. So you want to make sure that your face is on the screen. You want to make sure that you are showing who you are until TikTok finally starts seeing that. And that's when the 500, 600 views really start to pop in, unless you've been doing this for ever and the only thing you've done is faceless. But the words on this screen need to match to your search engine optimization words, right? Words that people are going to search, like in love with the selfish one, self-love, self-admiring, wrapped around themselves, right? Those are words that people are going to search to find your content. And if your content isn't isn't towards the algorithm in that way, then that's exactly how that works. Nicole, welcome in, my friend. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a long minute. Thank you for the heart me. But yeah, guys, that's kind of a little bit of a spiel in how that whole process works with content. Yeah, you guys will see that I pretty much make the same content every single day, and I stick to my niche. I don't veer away from my niche in any way, shape, or form. And if a video doesn't do the way I want it to, then I go back and look at it, and I take a look and see, okay, what could have I done better? The big point, remember, is a video getting pushed to the FYP is 50% watch time, right? So if 50% of your audience watched your video all the way through, you will get a push to the FYP page. And that doesn't always happen, right? That's why shorter videos when you're getting started and getting people used to watching your content, and the more authentic people that come and actually watch your videos, the better, because they're not wanting to skip through, or they're not hitting all the buttons and then moving away. I have not heard that, but that's so good to know. Which part? The search engine optimization or the 50% to have a video pushed out to the FYP? I'm losing my voice, guys. We're almost at an hour. Oh, there we go. The 50%, yes. It's like that on all platforms, actually. The SEO is something that's across all platforms. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. Some platforms prefer you not to have a CTA, which is a call to action. You're asking them to do something in the video, whether that's DMing you, going to your LANK, whatever it may be. And it kind of goes the same way for lives, right? It's just twisted because you're on a live video. So the longer people stay, the more people do all the things, GIFTs and all that stuff, then everything will start to minute in the direction that it needs to. So yeah, it's online space, my husband has even said it too. He's like, this is so much harder than a 9 to 5 because you literally are using every asset of your brain. You literally have to think of your content and your live as you are a viewer and you are not the person that is live. Because if not, you're going to get stuck in that circle, right? If you're not bringing any value to your live or to your content, then let's think about it. Who's going to want to watch it? There's hundreds of thousands of people on this app that they can go watch instead of you. So when you make content, go, if I was a viewer, would I want to watch this? Would I want to engage with this? If I was on the outside of this live, tapping and doing all the things, is this interesting enough to keep people held for an hour? If it's not, then we have to go back to the drawing board and go, okay, well, what's my passion? What skill set do I have? What am I actually bringing to the table? What is going to help my online business, right? My entrepreneurship actually grow. And when I first started, I was a quiet person, but I learned very quickly when I was a video game streamer how important it is not to have dead space. And dead space is any time that you are not talking. So even like when I'm checking comments, I'm still talking to you guys because I don't want any dead space. And the same thing in a video. You want no dead space in a video because it keeps them attracted to keep watching, to keep tapping, to keep commenting, to keep doing all of the things. We're all goldfish, right? I hate to say it, but we're on this app, so we're goldfish. And goldfish don't like to sit around and wait for anybody or anything. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can shoot them at me in the chat, or you can personally DM them to me and we can definitely get going. Nicole, me too. Addiction recovery coach getting, yep. Nicole and I are supposed to be collabing at some point. She wants to do a joint live with me like I do with Kathleen. I have a lot of people that have been reaching out for collabs. So if you guys are interested in collabs, double tap my face and make sure to shoot me an email. All of my information is in my store, from my business corner to Beyond the Curse, which is my community brand. And then Dr. Harleen Quinzelli is my personal brand, because Dr. Harleen Quinzelli is the person she was before she allowed Joker to destroy her. So in my story, my ex-husband is my Joker, right? I married Venom. I changed the algorithm. I changed the life story of what Harley was when Margot Robbie was no longer, playing Harley Quinn movies. I kind of, I have this passion to keep the real Harley Quinn fucking going. Flora, what's up, girlfriend? So yeah, you want to make sure when you're doing stuff on this app that everything you are doing is revolved around who you really are and where you're going. I know plenty of people on this app that are, I'm a digital marketer. It doesn't matter. I've heard so many different things in the last few days about people being behind paywalls and all these things, but what I really want to boil down to is this, right, guys? If you're not bringing value to what you're doing in this online space, it's gonna fail. And people look down upon courses and digital marketers, but we're the foundation of how everything goes, right? Because if it wasn't for my digital product, my digital course, I would not be able to sit on a live like this and talk to you guys about what my passion really is and where my branding comes from, my story, all of the things. I've had plenty of messy seasons in this whole entire game where I didn't go live because I was still in the messy season, right? I was messed up on medication because that's what the society told me I had to do. I was messed up on PTSD because I was still stuck on my ex because he was quote unquote holding the kids against me. All of those things, like, sometimes we just need that really big, ginormous wake-up call to see the best version of absolutely everyone. Get with Harley. Carly. Flora, I absolutely love the shit out of you, yeah. Guys, just make sure that you guys are checking that stuff out. So my doc check-in call is a 30-minute call for us to work together. Those are unlimited, so you can grab one of those a week. and we can work towards your goals and your aspirations. The power page is also free, where you guys would be able to start implementing those boundaries with yourself, to start seeing those successes in yourself, your relationship with your kids, your significant other, relationships at work, whatever it may be. And then if you're really wanting to dig really deep, I have my one-on-ones. I'm not going to list the price here, but I have my one-on-ones, and that's a 2-session. We can break it down into 2 sessions for you. And I also give a dialogue of steps to start seeing those successes, but I also have different tech opportunities as well to help you start maneuvering towards your passion, right? If you're needing a website set up, if you're needing digital art, whatever it may be. And if I don't have services to offer you for that, then I have other affiliates and other people in my corner that might be able to help you. If I hadn't gone through hell, I wouldn't see things the way I do exactly, and you would never unsee it. Digital marketing course. Digital marketing course is pretty much a course to teach you how to be able to sell online, right? You have the option to resell it. You have the option to take the knowledge and turn it into whatever you would like, kind of like how I have been doing and really pushing forth. But some people don't like digital courses. They think that they're, lots of different names, but at the end of the day, y'all wouldn't be seeing me here if I didn't buy a digital course. So it's no different than going to college, right? How many of us have been to college? And how many of us are sitting here wondering how we're going to make money this month? So just think of it like that. More people are successful with digital courses because they have a mentor and they have a coach that's going to help them get to where they need to go, instead of someone that just says, pay me $100 million and then go off into the workplace and you're just going to get an internship and I'm not going to actually teach you how to do what you do. Yeah, a lot of people get ghosted in the online space, but the ones that are real, raw, and authentic, they're going to stay. But you also have the people who want to show up and pretend like, digital marketing in general, online space in general, is a magic trick, and it's not a magic trick, guys. It's not a magic trick. You actually have to do work. My accountability partner that I have in this online space, she drives me up a wall sometimes, but I love her to absolute death because she's honest and real and is like, hey, Harley, slow down. Hey, Harley, you didn't do this. Hey, Harley, you forgot this on your video. Hey, Harley, let's revamp this. But that's because I'm able to take that accountability. I'm able to take that criticism and go, I want to be the best version of myself. I don't want to show up half-assed anymore. And the piece that most people are missing is working on themselves and actually doing the work. No, you're good. You're good. A lot of you guys are more interested in like the monetization of TikTok than you are. Hold on, we got a puzzle piece. There we go. Are more interested in the monetization aspect than you are anything else. And I get that, but like, if your passion is bigger than that, you can create a course. Let's be real, right? You can create some type of service. You can create things that you are going to receive 100% commission from, because you know your value, you know who you are, and all the assets and all the bonuses of TikTok are just assets and bonuses of TikTok, which then pushes out your original thing, right? I've been in the agencies, I've done the courses, I've done it all, and what I can tell you is me and my vision and where I'm going has got me where I am today. Not TikTok monetization, not any of that. I understand that. I get that. Yep. But also, we're not meant to work 40 years, 40 hours, 40 months. You know what I'm saying? The 40-40-40 rule. What, just to retire and be stuck at $2,000 a month? And then have to learn to relive our life as a whole? Like, it's, I mean, it is what it is. My goal is to fire my husband from his job and to get him to start implementing these things. But when you've been in a life of curses, it's very hard to step into your actual power and who you are and where you want to go. And the information that I have learned from my course can be used in any niche. And I've proven that. I've proven that in digital. I've proved that in video game streaming. I've proved that in regular agency battles, all of the things. Everything that I've ever learned in my course actually corresponded me with where I am today and how I am maneuvering. Is it easy? No. Are times very tough? Yes. Learning that you don't get paid by the hour and learning that you get paid by the value is a hard lesson for a lot of people in this online space. And just like in the workout world, it's a 90% failure rate in the online space because most people aren't willing to do the hard work to actually get themselves where they need to be. Because as soon as it doesn't go their way, they run the opposite direction and they blame the coach or they blame the program. But in reality, the program and the coach are working. They're not doing the hard work on who they are as a whole person. No, you guys are good. Let's see. How long have we been live? All right. We've been live for an hour on the dot. I appreciate those 37K likes. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. All of the gifts. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will be around supporting throughout the day since I've gotten all my content done. I have one more video to make later on this afternoon. But remember, you guys, you are great. You are awesome. And you are the author of your story. Rewrite it. Rewrite it. That is my biggest message to you guys today. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And keep up the awesome work. And Kendra, I can't wait for your live this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you, Miss Kendra. Virginia and Nicole, I appreciate you. Carly, Flora, everybody else that stopped in today. You guys are amazing. And I will see you around.